Hello and welcome to the grand finale of the hackathon Crack the Code to Prevent and Address Gender-Based Violence, hosted by United Nations Population Fund India in association with India's biggest technology community, TechGig. I'm your host, Sukriti Advanshi, and today we are here to witness some exciting and existing innovative solutions and reward the winners of this hackathon. So without any delay, let's begin with it. I would like to call upon and invite Ms. Kalpana Yadav, Program Analyst, Gender and Human Rights, United Nations Population Fund, India, to give us a walkthrough of the hackathon and set up the excitement of all these days of hard work our finalists have put in.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the finale of Crack the Code, a hackathon organized by the United Nations Population Fund, India Country Office. A brief background for those of us who are not very familiar with the process of a hackathon. It is an event that brings together stakeholders and beneficiaries to unpack problems and create solutions. A hackathon runs over a fixed period of time, and a series of ideas are proposed. Typically, it is a concept to develop a prototype that emerges from a hackathon, which is an early example or a model. This by no means implies that a product is final, but what it does is present a concept that has a potential to be developed further. At its core, we see this hackathon as a creative process to generate community-based solutions. At UNFPA, we launched this hackathon 3 months ago with the aim to bring together innovators from different walks of life: individuals, startups, CSOs and NGOs, entrepreneurs, public and private sector organizations, to ideate to prevent and address gender-based violence through both tech and non-tech solutions. This hackathon is quite unique in its endeavor to address the issue of GBV comprehensively. We worked closely with a core group of experts from diverse organizations as knowledge partners, starting from the very inception, which was the design of the problem statements themselves, to the conclusion of the process, which resulted in the evaluation as well as the mentorship that was provided to the different submissions. The design of the hackathon had 3 phases. Phase 1, aimed at submission of ideas aligned with identified problem statements. Phase 2 involved shortlisting and mentoring of teams. And phase 3 comprised of selection of finalists along with prototype submissions. At each stage of the process, we worked very closely with our partners and with participants to ensure that potential solutions were informed by human rights-based approaches. I would like to sincerely thank our knowledge partners, UNHCR, Center for Internet and Society, Center for Communication Governance at National University, Delhi, Center for Inclusive Policy, Rising Flame, Sama Resource Group, ADRA, Bedrock, and Amazon Web Services for being connected with us throughout this journey and working so closely with us to bring it to its culmination. Before I hand it over to the moderator, just a note to convey my very best wishes to all the participants who will be showcasing their prototypes today. We look forward to seeing your ideas and all the very best for the results. Thank you. Over to you, Sukriti.
Thank you for sharing your thoughtful experience, Ms. Kalpana. A shout out to all the participants for the incredible efforts that you've made so far. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for me to actually invite Ms. Andrea M. Wojnar, UNFPA India representative and country director, Bhutan, for her opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Sukriti. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to Crack the Code as we mark the culmination of UNFPA India's first of its kind hackathon, focusing on preventing and ending gender-based violence. We're excited to meet the 7 finalists, and I look forward to their presentations later. In the course of the afternoon, we will, of course, announce the winner. So please hold your applause until then, because what we need in the meantime is your ideas, and that's what the world needs. It's fitting that we at UNFPA India host this hackathon as India accelerates its digital public infrastructure. India is one of the leaders in digital global solutions as it leads the G20 in 2023. Digitalization and innovation are also one of UNFPA's accelerators. So globally, as well as India, unfortunately, nearly 1 in 3 women experience physical or sexual violence. It's a startling and sobering figure. The progress against gender-based violence is also sticky. Ending all forms of gender-based violence and harmful practices against women and girls is one of the 3 transformative goals of UNFPA. And we are here and committed to strengthen and scale our efforts to accelerate progress towards achieving this critical goal. But let's be honest, gender-based violence is everywhere. It occurs in homes, schools, businesses, parks, public transport, workspaces, sports arenas, and unfortunately, in today's digital age, across online platforms. Let's also remember that gender-based violence escalates during humanitarian crises, such as climate change, public health emergencies like the COVID pandemic, and war and conflict. And it can also intensify on account of intersectionalities with disability, caste, gender, or sexual orientation. The United Nations Secretary General launched the Unite campaign this year, calling upon all allies to act now to end all forms of gender-based violence. So as I mentioned before, we're also witnessing increasing harassment, hatred, and abuse in online spaces, some of which spills into non-virtual spaces with devastating consequences. And to curb this, UNFPA has launched its own campaign called Body Right, to galvanize global awareness of how corporate logos and other copyrighted material actually enjoy greater online protection than human beings online do. So the campaign has helped launch a diverse global movement to stop technology-facilitated gender-based violence and linked women's rights activists with government regulators and private sector tech providers. So we at UNFPA recognize that innovation is essential to deliver at scale, and to achieve the pace we need to realize gender equality, equity, and reproductive autonomy. Innovation and digitalization is without a doubt one of the megatrends that has the potential to shape the world. The megatrend that generates explicit benefits for societies and economies, and one that should not be stopped or obstructed, but instead leveraged to maximize positive impact and minimize any adverse ones. So to harness the power and potential of innovation, we've launched this hackathon for crowdsourcing and ideating solutions that may have the potential to prevent and address GBV. As my colleague explained, the hackathon was set in motion on September 8th by UNFPA India in partnership with TechGig. And the design of the hackathon was conceptualized with a threefold aim. It was about improving GBV prevention and response for persons with disabilities. Also about addressing technology-facilitated gender-based violence and strengthening GBV services and support systems during humanitarian crises. It's really heartwarming and encouraging to me to see that more than 8,000 participants across 20 countries registered for the hackathon, and more than 200 ideas were submitted. And I'm really pleased to tell you that about 40% of the submissions were from women-led teams. So this hackathon clearly adopted a broad-based consultative process. We brought together a diverse range of stakeholders as knowledge partners. We had civil society organizations, UN sister agencies, policy think tanks, private sector, research organizations, and everybody contributed their thought leadership through evaluation of this hackathon, as well as guidance and mentorship to the participants. So we're extremely grateful to them for their time and expertise. Without our knowledge partners, this hackathon would not have been the success that it is. So today, marks the final milestone in this journey that began over 3 months ago. And reaching this milestone involved detailed evaluations of hundreds of extremely promising and innovative ideas. Every submission had a role to play in enriching this process, and we're really grateful to each and every one of you who took the time to engage with this critical issue and participate in the hackathon. So today we'll be announcing the 3 winners whose solutions are found to be the most promising and potentially scalable. So let's together crack the code and move on to the most exciting part of today's event and hear from the participants themselves. So once again, thanks to each and every one of you who've taken the time to join us today. We stand united in our commitment to prevent and address GBV. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Ms. Andrea. We certainly agree that ideating and innovating is essential to achieve the pace needed to realize gender equality, equity, and reproductive economy. And events like this can act as a platform for nurturing ideas through collaboration. So thank you once again. We will now begin with the prototype showcase by our finalists, and we'll have the first 4 teams presenting, and they are Inclusiveness Rating Index by Network, Low-Tech Tool for Reporting GBV in Humanitarian Settings by STEM Labs Nigeria, Hate Speech Detection Bot by ARI, and Vulnerability Population Assessment Tool in Humanitarian Settings by Social Animals.
Hello, my name is Prachi Mittal. I'm 34 years old, living in Germany. I work as a senior system architect for connected and automated driving. But in the UN Hackathon on preventing and addressing gender-based violence, I'm proposing more non-technical and social solution. My idea is about inclusiveness rating. An index that can be assigned to a social resource, which can be a product, service, an institute, and it indicates the usability of that resource for people of marginalized groups. So that can be females or people with disability or people from racial or ethnic minority. This idea can have wider impact on society, maybe because you can apply it to a product from as small as a smartphone to a whole institute like place of work, or even services like counseling centers or hospitals. And the inclusiveness does not just focus on this group or that group. It can be a holistic inclusiveness of all people. Let me quickly give you a glimpse into my idea. Show for the case study one-stop centers. The inclusiveness dimension is, of course, public persons with disability. So that's the lens I'm taking to assess OSCs, one-stop centers, which are established to support victims of gender-based violence. Again, the administrative model is dedicated organization called IRA, the Inclusiveness Rating Agency, and data collection model is organized inspections. These are the tasks I've defined for the IRA, studying the concept of OSCs, what are the services, how they are set up, the assessment framework, so identifying the relevant data set, what data needs to be collected, how it will be collected, and based on that, I've prepared also a whole checklist of questions for the organized inspections and the mathematical methodology for calculating this index, and also how the IR results will be disseminated from IRA and how the index can be used to improve user experience. And then after the assessment framework, a pilot project has to be carried out at selected OSCs, so administration of the index, and then it can be scaled either geographically for the OSCs of state, regional, national level, or by exploring other dimensions of inclusiveness other than persons with disability, for example, people of LGBTQIA community. And then other social resources related to OSCs can be assessed based on same frameworks, or like Mahila Shakti Kendra, etc. And during all these tasks, IRA interacts with a number of entities in its ecosystem. So the policymakers, that is Government of India, social science community, other civil societies working for gender-based violence or disability areas, technology providers, and also media.
Hello everyone, my name is Prince Achoja and I'm from Kano State, Nigeria. And I'm so excited to be here to talk about my team and share our impact story. The name of our team is Team STEM Lab, and we are a team of 5. My name is Prince Achoja, and on the team we have Salma Gambo, who is 24 years old. She's a female and she was in charge of the front end. We have Farouk Hassan, who is 20 years old. We have Mohammed Alamin Abakar. We have Chinechukwu Inakwe. Now, the problem statement that was given to us by the UNFPA and TechGig team was for us to be able to build a solution that is going to enhance awareness about the available services and also facilitate anonymous, safe, and timely access for gender-based victims and survivors, and those that are usually at risk of gender-based violence in humanitarian settings.
Hello everyone, my name is Prince Achoja from Kano State, Nigeria, and we're from Team STEM Labs, and we'll be walking you through our demo of a solution called Ribbons. Now, Ribbons is an offline mobile and web platform that we built for people in remote communities, providing them with an offline gender-based violence services for easy and quick reporting, as well as all the support services that has to do with GBV. Now, Ribbons is simply an end-to-end model that uses all the offline available technologies like IVR, USSD, and SMS platform that is built with a simple algorithm to provide gender-based violence for people that are living in humanitarian settings like camps, shelter, and those that are living in shelter homes during calamities and conflict. Our solution is simply as easily accessible since it is deployed using offline technologies. So I'll just walk you through the demo. What happens with Ribbons is first, victims and survivors can be able to place their requests using any of the offline technologies. These requests are actually into categories. They are categorized, so they can be able to place a health support request. They can be able to enter their full name if they want. They can be able to keep the name indiscreet if they don't want, since the platform is actually an anonymous, safe, and easy reporting for victims. So they'll be able to enter their location so that this location will be able to route them to the nearest focal point for response. So they just enter a briefing of what happened, of how the case happened, and this will be forwarded directly to the help desk almost immediately. So they've been able to place in this request from their small offline technology device. So this request will come directly to the help desk dashboard. They'll be able to see it from their dashboard that there is a USSD complaint. Now this is the complaint that just came in with the date and every other thing. It's still pending. So this help desk dashboard will be able to look at this complaint, confirm if this complaint is available, and then sort this complaint based on emergency and forward this directly almost immediately to a focal point for response. Now, when this case moves directly to the focal point, this is the focal point dashboard. Is an agent. So when he receives, you will see some of the available complaints. Then you will see that he just received one complaint. He will go to his complaints and be able to fish out that they've been able to send him a complaint. The complaint is pending. So he will look at the complaint, the details of the complaint that was sent to him from the admin dashboard. So he will look at it, resolve this complaint, reach out to the victim, find out and resolve the complaint, provide the necessary healthcare services, provide the necessary support services, and then being able to resolve this case, he'll be able to find out and write a comment. Now, once he resolves this case will be forwarded straight to straight to the admin, the focal admin dashboard. You see case closed, four cases closed. You'll be able to check the case that was closed, find out how the case was closed and the comment from the cases, and then you'll be able to find out if this case has been totally resolved. And then you could reach out to the victim and send an SMS to the victim and say, okay, the request, the need that you've placed, the complaint that you placed has been successfully resolved. Then the good thing about the ribbons is that it uses an offline technology. It works as a multi-layer that connects victim survivors to a focal point. That this focal point connects them to experts who are able to resolve their cases almost immediately. We built a multiple layer of support system for these victims.
Hi, I am Andrea Barua, a 25-year-old machine learning engineer from Tripura. My pronouns are they, them. I am also a queer Adivasi political artist. Now, being a political artist, I was at the receiving end of a lot of hate and violence. And so were a lot of my friends from marginalized communities. I wanted to do something about it. So last year, I started thinking of ways I could actually make this internet a safer place for people of marginalized communities. So I built a bot which detects hate speech in English, specifically English because most of India's hate speech actually happens in English. I built a bot that can detect hate speech in English, and I specifically made it for Reddit for now. So this bot actually takes hate speech, and if a user is detected using hate speech, it gives a warning to the user. And after 3 warnings, if the user is still using hate speech, they are permanently banned from the subreddit.
Okay, so let me show you a quick demo. So our subreddit is this is the name of the subreddit, anti-hate bot public demo, and the username of the admin is, or the mod is this. So the mod is basically running the bot in the backend. So let me show you. So I have added 2 screens here. So the black screen is the person who will be using hate speech, and this gray one is for someone who will not be using hate speech. So I'm just doing this for a demo where I'm showing a conversation between 2 people. So as you can see, there is one post here. And let me just go and check in the backend if the connection is done. Yeah, the connection is done. So as you can see, the mod can just use their login credentials in this text file, add it in the text file, and just run the Python bot, and it will start running. So let me comment something here. Okay, I wanted to use masking. So this is something people use to hide hate speech. So I wanted to use this. On the phone, I can easily use emojis, but since it's on the laptop, I'll have to copy. Yeah. So this is my hate speech, and now let's see if our bot is able to detect it. So I'm commenting this hate speech from this account. So I'll also show you the name of the account. The name of the account is this K4LL1. So this is the name of the user who is using hate speech, and the good person who will not be using hate speech in this demo is this person. I'll show you their name also. Okay, so this is me. This is the person who does not use hate speech. This is just talking lol. This is the name of the user. So now, as you can see, hate speech was detected in the backend when K4LL1 used hate speech. So you can see that hate speech is detected. 1 here means hate speech and 0 means not hate speech. And the bot also started keeping a count on how many times each user is using hate speech. So this user K4LL1 has used hate speech once. So now let us continue. So let me refresh. So this is the person who is using hate speech. So see, now you can see that they received a warning.
Hello everyone. Our topic is strengthen GBV services and support systems during humanitarian crisis. Our team, Social Animals, has 2 members, Renuka Shinde and Vidisha Mathani. Now, Renuka is pursuing her Masters in Drinking Water and Sanitation in Water Resources Development and Management Department at IIT Roorkee. I, Vidisha Mathani, am a PhD candidate in Psychology in Humanities and Social Sciences Department, also at IIT Roorkee. Now, our solution is Gender-Based Violence Screening Questionnaire. It is a short, low-tech and cost-effective solution which focuses on prevention and screening aspects of GBV.
Now, what is our tool? Now, it is a gender-based violence screening questionnaire. Now, it is a tool to screen high-risk, medium-risk, and low-risk population. It can be administered as a paper-pencil test since it is a low-tech solution, or it can be administered through any interactive media app, but mostly it is a paper-pencil test. And the questionnaire consists of questions based on NFHS 5, which is National Family Health Service 5, 2019-21 report, and also from existing questionnaires which are on intimate partner violence assessments which are administered in healthcare settings. And some of the questions are also based on the shared beliefs among GBV survivors on why they don't report. So I'll show the, okay. Now, how is the scoring formulated? Now, scoring has been done for the question items in the questionnaire based on the probability of increasing risk. So where a higher score would indicate a higher risk of GBV. So so once the scoring is done, the population will be divided into high risk, medium risk, and low risk. So in the high risk band, the person has to visit once daily to mark compulsory attendance at a designated place in the camp, and absences 2 or 3 days in a row should be inquired by the humanitarian workers. Now, this will help in one way that they would get time to come out of their household where that GBV might be taking place, and to get some time in isolation to report any such situations. Or even if they are not see it and ask them questions related to it. Then in the medium risk, the person has to visit 3 times a week to mark compulsory attendance, and again absences 2-3 times in a row should be inquired. And the low risk, the person has to visit once in a week to mark attendance. Now, when and where can this questionnaire be administered? Now, ideally, it should be administered on the day 1 or 2 of the camp because it's based more on the prevention side. And this questionnaire can be administered while distributing emergency kits or menstrual hygiene kits to people. So while it is being distributed, the people can be asked for to spare 2 or 5 minutes and fill this questionnaire while they are waiting in the queue. And it can also be administered as part of other tools or procedures during the crisis, maybe some safety audit tool or maybe other emergency screen are already being administered, so it can be used as part of it. And the test, and one of the important thing is that the test distributor must be present while the person is filling out the questionnaire to make sure that the targeted person is filling out the questionnaire, because if the questionnaire is given to be filled at home, so we don't know that if the person who is filling the questionnaire is that person who has been given the questionnaire or somebody else. So that is important. And the person members to ensure the privacy and confidentiality of the answers. Now, what are the steps and strategies which can be taken after administering the test? So emergency kits can be distributed to the highest population. So for example, for independent management of menstrual hygiene, so reusable pads and panties can be, and night loo and pee-poo bags can be distributed. So night loo is a silicone container which can be used as a urinal at night, so they don't have to go outside to public toilets. And so after urinating, it comes with a polymer-based super absorbent sachet, so it converts the liquid into powder. So then that can be stored odor-free, and it can be thrown away in the morning. And similarly for pee-poo bags, they are biodegradable bags, so it can be used for defecating and it can be thrown away later in the morning, and it can be stored odor-free for 24 hours. And the other thing is that mapping unused existing infrastructure for potential use during crisis. So unused infrastructure can be mapped beforehand. So if there are any high-risk population or any vulnerable population, maybe pregnant women, they can be kept there, and healthcare, what can be done after the GBV has already has taken place. So it can help map the at-risk population and reduce the incidence of GBV. And in the high-risk population, children may also be vulnerable to GBV. So further question can be asked for them as well.
All right, thank you so much, finalists. And now it's time to take a little break from the intense presentation schedule that we just witnessed and sneak into the realm of some beautiful rhythm. Please join me in welcoming an artist who began her musical career at the age of 8 and is trained in the Hindustani style from her mother, Minoti Kohant, and maestro late Pandit V.D. Jog, specializing in Indo-jazz fusion and world folk styles. Miss Sunita Bhayan, Indo-fusion violinist and vocalist, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her.
A very good evening to all of you. It's a pleasure and honor to be part of this very meaningful event. A cause, I think a journey that all of us must be part of to end once and for all violence against all genders. Music happens through the connecting notes, and I would like to give my thanks to Larli, Dr. Sharda and her wonderful team, and of course Anuja from UNFPA, with whom we did a wonderful event during the pandemic when all of us were so down, when we were so worried, when we were so fearful. But I think the pandemic is not as dangerous, not as risky as the mindsets of people around us, around the world, who don't think twice, who so easily have been violating the rights, mental, emotional, physical, of other people, of women, of all genders. Like music, the world is made of different people. Music is made of 7 notes. Every note has its own resonance, has its own tone, has its own texture, sound. Each note is special, but every note has to be in existence with the other notes of the octave. Hence, tolerance, sensitivity, loving, embracing people around us is the thought that we artists would like to share. Having part of the South Asian Women's Fund, now the Asian Women's Fund, being part of the Foundation of Social Transformation in Assam, I'm here streaming this from my mother's house, my guru's house in Guwahati in Assam. And having closely seen the challenges of women from various communities and societies, even in the Northeast, the exclusion, the violence, the unfairness that so many of us have been facing, and the kind of work that people like Foundation for Social Transformation, UNFPA, especially this hackathon, 3 cheers to the entire team for doing this amazing initiative. What can artists do? I mean, we are so small. We are such small cogs in the wheel. We at times feel humbled in front of people like you all who are working on the scene, in the grassroots, to save and to help people in need. But as artists, our thoughts, our music can be a medium to spread a message. And I'm so honored to have been invited by Anuja and the team to spread this very powerful message in a simple way through our musical notes. My first piece, our first piece, I have with me tabla player Prabhanshu, but because of the setting of the camera, I'm not been able to take the camera towards him, but very soon I will the first piece is a prayer to Mother Earth. Nature, which is the most loving, most embracing. Nature doesn't distinguish between genders, between people, between races, between communities, between classes and creeds. Nature protects everyone under one roof. पाप विनाशिनी दुख हरनी आज ये धारा महापाप से भरा तुम दया करो हे महामाया जय जय देवी जगत जननी पाप विनाशिनी दुख हरनी आज এই ধরা মহাপাপে ভরা তুমি দয়া করো হে মহামায়া That was in Rag Durga, a small prayer to the universe, to Mother Nature, to help us, to give us the strength to be able to stop the violence in the world around us. The next piece is a folk song, a song of the migratory bird that comes from the Ganges to the Brahmaputra. As I'm doing this from Assam, this is in Assamese. It's a song that says, let there be spring always. Let there be positive thoughts, good deeds, kindness, love for everyone around us in this world. Sapai boguli sare khamoniya oi sapai boguli sare যৌবনৰ পুৰণি কহিব নোৱাৰো ঐ খুকে দামাৰি ধৰে As we speak of spring, as we speak of our journey in this world with so many challenges around us, there is one song, one anthem by none other than Tagore, who told us that in this journey of life, when you have no one to walk with you at times, when you're calling out people to hold your hand, but they're not around you, you've got to walk alone. Jodi tor dak shune kyo nai ashe tobe ekla chalo re. When there's no one to walk with you, you've got to walk alone. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে After Ekla Chalore, I'd like to end my performance with a happy piece, a rhythmic piece, a folk music from the Highlands of Scotland. Like love is universal, humanity also is universal, has to be universal. Music, my dear friends and ladies and gentlemen, is a universal language. A Scottish reel, I hope you can tap your feet. I'd like to wish all of you at this hackathon for this amazing, very, very meaningful cause, all the very best in this journey. Jodi tor dak shune kyo naya she pabi akla chalore. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Payan, for that absolutely beautiful performance and the soulful music that you've shared with our audience today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Let's now move on and hear from our remaining finalists and teams. We have 3 more teams coming up for the presentation, and they are a CSE Awareness App and Reporting Tool by ROV, GBV Reporting Tool by Evol, and End-to-End Tool Service Portal for Managing GBV Cases by Cision.
Hi, I'm Vivek Mohan. I've been a developer and a tech architect for the last 8 years. I was part of a company called Innovate Co-working, which was a YC startup that got sold to OYO back in 2019.
I am Indriya Barua, a 25-year-old machine learning engineer from Tripura. I'm also a political artist. My pronouns are they, them. In this project, we are trying to solve a problem for our most vulnerable community, our children. We are trying to help children understand about child sexual abuse. We are awareing them and also trying to help them report it much easily.
So we had a little bit of design process. So this the app development has to start at a midpoint. So to show it the presentation. So we have started the app in midway with the mid of the designs. Now we have a final version in Canva that we will show you later. To just show you brief. These are some of the wireframes we did to understand what all the UIs that we can do. Then we have some sign up flows wireframes also been done. Now I'll quickly come back to the app demo. So we have settings. We can set the name. So this will be password protected also. We have made some music and it's for the gamified experience for the child. So once started, now we have a screen. This is actually little bit of levels, but this is internal screen. This won't be available to the child. This is just to show whenever one level is finished, the other level gets unlocked. So I'll just go back and reset my progress for yeah. So once we start, there will be say an avatar comes and say hello. Right now I think okay. So we have one demo saying, okay, it's 7 p.m. Let's check if there is homework pending. Then it seems that you don't have any homework. This is the part where it interlinks with the school system, and it says, okay, there is a message from do remind Mama about the Independence Day program. Teacher has asked her to come. So this is just taking care of the whole teacher school homework part. Then from there we let's do some chatting. Then from there one of our flow comes. Then it's asked, how did you feel today? I can say it's bad, and it's gonna say I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like to talk about it? Yes. And then we are asking which place made you feel bad. So this is one of the many certain flows that we have onboarded, and we can say it's other place and who made you feel bad. It's someone else, and they can ask how did that made person feel bad. I can say it's some pain.
It's pain.
And now it's asking touch the body part which hurt, which made you hurt. And I heard.
Yeah.
And
So in the backend, we are not telling this to the child, but we are actually informing the parent that the child has been hurt and they met an unknown person who hurt them in this area. So yeah, continue.
Do you know who the person is? And I said no. Do you person look alike? Can you try something? Okay, I'll try. Then we give them. So there are conversation flows and there are games. Games can be worksheets, videos, anything. So this is one of the games that is designed to maybe just to create a customized look for the person.
So this can help the parent actually to identify, okay, if this is someone that they know, where they met, and because we are asking where they met, right? And then there will be different features like Snapchat where you can make the avatar of that person, and the parent can maybe identify the person that they met.
Everything is child friendly, just to make sure that we are not going to make the real people, but it is more to identify that there is some the social relationship with the child, like the relationship, the social circle of the child, and there is one person that is a stranger, or there is a negative relationship with X person in her circle. Maybe it can be one of her uncles that she's giving in one of the games. We have a game called Feed the Chili. So if the child is feeding chili to uncle many times, it is just an identification of our system, of the whole app, to identify that there is some kind of relationship issue with this person. It could be neutral, it could be something just maybe the guy could be strict, but it could be also strange. So there could be different colors, like to identify what kind of is that relationship. Some he might be feeding chocolate just to show that there is a good bonding with this person. Thank you for sharing with it. I know it's been difficult for you. Then there is
so like after every kind of like bad experience that they share, we will actually lead them into some mental health processes like calming down games. Like there will be some kind of counting, grounding activities basically. So there can be a game where they count the number of flowers that they can see and take that many breaths. Like 5 things you can see, 3 things you can hear. These are some very basic like grounding things that our therapists make us do. So all these activities are actually designed taking in note, like talking to a lot of therapists and experts.
Thank you, sir.
So hello guys, we are Team Evolve from IIT Roorkee. I'm Akanksha Verma, 4th year electrical department.
I'm Rudran Chaudhary, mathematics and computing, 2nd year.
I'm Mishra, civil 2nd year.
Hello guys, I am Anusha Pokharna from chemical 2nd year.
And yes, guys, I am Prakhar Gupta, final year student at IIT Roorkee. And in our problem statement, we address the non-availability of internet in affected areas due to humanitarian crisis, which actually hinders the GBV affected people from getting help during such situations.
And then like there were various problem statements related to around GBV, and the problem we decided to go with was in the second problem statement, that was enhance awareness about available services and facilitate anonymous, safe and timely access to services for GBV survivors and those at risk in GBV in humanitarian situations. So like the humanitarian crises are very much often and they take place, and by our own personal real life experience and things we got to know each other by talking, we decided to go with this problem statement, and then we listed down some of the problems that take place during these humanitarian crises, like the management and coordination between public and government, and the mobility of peoples who are involved in crisis, and then wherever they are made to stay and the food they are given and how they are made to stay, like they lose their homes and living conditions, so how they are taken care of. And during such times, women are very vulnerable, like women and teenager girls. So we decided to go with this problem, and then in all of the problems, there was one major thing that during humanitarian crises, one thing that is not available is internet. So we decided to make an application that can cater the need that when internet is not available, then also we can help people who are in crisis, and we can help women and teenager girls who are in like this miserable situation. So we decided to make this application, and then we introduced some features in this. First, we were also considering a SOS button
but we discarded that and moved with multi-language app in local languages. Like, since there are this is how, like, the application we built is for local areas. Like, we wanted to give accessibility. We wanted to consider accessibility in every region of India. That's why we included multi-language app, like made this a multi-language app, and we picked languages from Google API, and then we made this. And the second feature we are including was that emergency contacts that we would have a log of 5 emergency contacts which can be coordinated when in, like, this does not needs internet. They just have an option to call these, to alert these emergency contacts. And in these emergency contacts, there will be some orgs which we'll be collaborating with that can help them. Some organizations like one-stop centers and etc. They work during these humanitarian crises. So, and the third option is that evidence collection that can be done by using signals like handshaking and etc. And we have given an option to record the audio, video, picture within a time limit preset, which is included in settings, like the fourth option we have given to our users. And it will locally encrypt and save in the storage, and it will not upload because internet is required to upload, obviously. It is just an evidence collection model. And the fourth service that is key, this one is not as if the login option in this is offline. Like, you just need a device.
Hi, I'm Kanimuli, having around 10 years of experience in IT consulting and implementations. As part of this hackathon, the idea and solutions provided to address key knowledge gaps and also enabling immediate services for a person experiencing gender-based violence. We also ensure information is available to service providers and aligned based on capacity and language barriers. So we keep humanity and care are our core of our idea and solutions. And thank you to the TechGig and United Nations for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be part of making the world better. Thank you. And the key challenges which I'm going to solve as part of this hackathon is the collaboration, to ensure the collaborations between service provider and the victim, where the challenges from service provider is they do not have a maintenance of records who are the service provider, so that we can resolve. And the other one is we need a guide to handle the case or training. So the service providers are not trained properly. So how can we address in the solutions that we will be dealing? And from victim aspect, how easy it will be for them to report technically, and the tracking or follow-up mechanism. How do we ensure the confidentiality of the victim, and then prioritizing the keys and also the reporting. Adding to that, we also will be checking on the service provider, assigning them based on the language and capacity. So here our solution would be initially a victim who has suffered, or anyone who knows victim has suffered, so they will connect via IVR, and once it is there, then we will give them some options like whether it's an emergency or not. And these are the different services we provide, like GBV services. One is sexual assault, the other one is domestic violence, like that. Based on that, dynamically auto tasks can be created and that can be resolved. So whenever there is an emergency impact, then we do also notify the team accordingly. So that is how the solution has been defined to solve problem 1 and 3. So which is there in the case. Now, how do we ensure case management? That I can show the demo. So here, if you could see, we have connect options, but in India, the demo piece is not applicable. Only via organizations we can subscribe to the IVR. So rather, I will show it in the portal how it will work. Example. So this is how a customer will. Let's imagine that they call it to the toll-free number, and once they call, so it will show that virtual agent. So it is like in the IVR, it will talk accordingly whatever is coming, and then when we select IVR, the process will be followed. So this is a chatbot, and we will check whether is it an emergency or not. If I say yes, then automatically it will create a case and assign to the team. So here, if you could see, there is a case has been created. It's 39, and so if I go and check it in that case, so this is the case which has been created right now. And you could see here in the tool, the emergency task has been created for to work on. So the emergency team will be notified. And adding to that, we have SMS functionality and then the calling functionality for an agent to call the emergency people accordingly. And also we can accommodate the phone number. And if the person is an anonymous, they don't want to reveal their confidentiality, also we can have this option checked. And we have the services like physical, verbal, sexual, psychological, so all the GBV listed. And then so once the interaction is created through IVR, currently we are using chatbot, as we do not in India the demo functionality is not available. So if it's available, this is how the process will work. And so once it got created, then the catalog task will be created to the team.
All right, thank you so much, finalists. Those were the 7 top final teams for the Crack and Code Hackathon, ladies and gentlemen. While our jury members huddle up to decide the top 3 winners, I would like to invite a young rap artist, Ms. Sania MQ from Mumbai. Guys, Sania Mistry, aka Sania MQ, represents Govandi, a part of Mumbai, through her raps. She's a 16-year-old rapper known as Gully Girl, studying in class 12, and has given a guest performance on the TV show in Hunarbaz on Colors. Please welcome her.
एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है। एक अपना ही हमदर्द बने और अपनों से ही हानि है। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है। किसी आंखों में कुछ बूंदें थी, उन बूंदों में अरमान दिखे। वो कहती थी मुझे बहना है, कोई रास्ता तो आसान दिखे। इन बूंदों को कुछ कहना था, कुछ कहना था, न कह पाए, न जज्बात कहे न सह पाए, वो पलकों में न रह पाए। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है। एक अपना ही हमदर्द बने और अपनों से ही हानि है। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली। एहसास में ना हो फेर बदल, ना कोई मिलावट होती है, तो क्यों किसी अपने का डर है, तुम्हें क्यों घबराहट होती है। एक आस तुम बांधो क्यों अक्सर, कोई शख्स अगर अनजान मिले। एक आस तुम बांधो क्यों अक्सर, कोई शख्स अगर अनजान मिले। तुम कहती हो वो अपना है, फिर ये कैसे निशान मिले। या लफ्ज तुम्हारे झूठे हैं, या डर ही ये बेमानी है। एक अपना ही हमदर्द बने और अपने से ही हानि है। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है। ये जख्म तो भर ही जाएंगे, ये वक्त निकल ही जाएगा। ये जख्म तो भर ही जाएंगे, ये वक्त निकल ही जाएगा। क्यों थाम रखी है खामोशी, क्यों खुद से तू अनजान बने। ये सिलसिला चलता जाता है, हर बार दिलासे रखती हो। ये सिलसिला चलता जाता है, हर बार दिलासे रखती हो। एतबार तो सारा टूट चुका, क्यों यार दिलासे रखती हो। क्या तुम पे बीती तुम जानो, ये बेहतर किसने जानी है। एक अपना ही हमदर्द बने और अपनों से ही हानि है। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है। एक ख्वाहिश भी नजर आती है कुछ बातों की, अल्फाजों की, कि फिर से कोई जख्म न हो और कश्ती भी इल्जामों की। एक सोच भी ऐसी तारी है, मुझे कहना है, मुझे कहने दो। एक सोच भी ऐसी तारी है, मुझे कहना है, मुझे कहने दो। होंगे मेरे जैसे भी जिन्हें जरूरत इन पैगामों की। तुम खुद के लिए एक हिम्मत हो, ये जब तक तुमने ठानी हो। तुम खुद के लिए एक हिम्मत हो, ये जब तक तुमने ठानी हो। न मजलूम बनेगा फिर कोई, न अपनों से अब हानि हो। एक शहर में घूमी गली गली, एक शहर की ये कहानी है।
All right, thank you so much. Time for us to, look at the achievers today. That was a fantastic performance by our young artist, Sania, and mesmerizing, I should say. And now we will have a look at the winning teams who have made through our finale. For this, I would like to call upon Ms. Andrea M. Washnar, UNFPA India representative and country director, Bhutan. Andrea, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sukriti. I'm really excited after all this entertainment and all these great presentations. But drum roll, da 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 da. Finishing as the second runners up, we have Ori, led by Andrea Barua. Their hate speech detection algorithm for social media platforms allows systems to scan, detect, and classify hate speech from text, images, and videos. The solution that can detect offensive content in English and has the potential to be applied to regional and vernacular languages too. It's a well-conceptualized and executed tool that can work towards addressing TFGBV. And now, congratulations, Andrea. As the first runners-up, we have, drum roll, STEM Lab, a Nigeria-based startup that presented a low-tech solution for reporting instances of GBV and seeking required support services in humanitarian settings. It effectively addresses the barriers posed by interruption to technology and services during crises and has demonstrated a wide use case through adaptation to multiple languages. Congratulations. And now, the winner of the hackathon is Network, led by Prashi Mittal. Their inclusiveness index rating tool has immense potential to scale and can be deployed by a range of stakeholders for accessing access to marginalized communities, including persons with disabilities. The index can be adopted by government as well as civil society to map inclusive and accessible rights-based services, including services to respond to gender-based violence. So fantastic, congratulations, Prashi Mittal, and Sukriti, over to you for some comments by our winners.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Congratulations to our winners. Time for us to actually hear their excitement and how happy they are with the winner announcement done by Andrea. I would now like to invite Andrea Barua to share her experience as she's won the second runner-up position in this hackathon.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for this platform. Like as an artist, I have been active online for a really long time, and this solution is really personal to me because I have myself been a victim of this kind of abuse online, being a queer Adivasi artist. Last year I started off with doing this, and The journey has been such a roller coaster ride, and I started from scratch, and on the way I found so many volunteers who came ahead and like wanted to do my data set tagging. So many people actually, like, we built a community of people, we unionized, and we actually tried solving this problem. So many volunteers came up, like around 45 people, like who are unknown to me from the internet, came ahead from different marginalized communities to help me make this data set. And today we have actually reached a great milestone. Today my data, this algorithm is detecting hate speech not only in text but also images, reels, videos, everything. So all of social media data can now be controlled, like control in the sense like cleaned and filtered according to so that it's we can build a safer place for everyone. This is my bigger dream, that social media becomes a safer place irrespective of people's gender, sexual identity, caste, religion, etc. And UNFPA and TechGig has given me this really wonderful platform and really helped me go one step closer to that dream. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andrea, and congratulations to you. Now, can we have the team members of STEM Lab here to share their experience?
Hello, everyone. It's such great joy I feel right now. Words cannot describe how I feel, and as a team, how we feel right now, seeing that our dream of building a solution that is going to contribute towards changing the world is being celebrated right now. It's just a big dream come true for us. We are deeply grateful to everyone that has made this possible. I want to say a big thank you to my mentor, Mr. Varon. He's been such a great mentor. I want to say a big thank you to the UNFPA team and the TechGig team. Thank you, everyone, for making our dreams a reality. Our journey is such of an inspiration. You know, when we got the notification for the hackathon, then we wanted to apply, but we had some doubts. And the youngest on our team made us apply for it. And we were just saying, we are from Nigeria, and looking at applying for a hackathon that's happening in India, it's going to be something like a long journey for us. But I must say that the experience has been an amazing experience. We have learned so much from all the support that the hackathon has provided. The team is here, and we all feel excited, we all feel happy, and we are currently looking forward to the implementation of our idea in all of India and all around the world. We can't just hold our joy. We're just saying a big thank you all the way from Nigeria. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We're grateful.
Thank you, Team STEM Lab, and congratulations to you too. In fact, everyone who has put in the hard work. And now it's time for us to listen to the winner's journey and her inspiration. Can we please have Prachi Mittal here to share her experience?
Thank you, Sukriti. It's just unbelievable to win at such a big stage, especially when the other ideas were just so brilliant. Honestly, I've been working as a scientist, as engineer, researcher for more than 10 years now. And this is the first time when I feel like I have used my knowledge to create something positive for the society, something good. And this is just the idea stage, prototype stage. So I'm so excited for the next steps and taking the idea into the real world, which of course couldn't have been possible without this wonderful opportunity from UNFPA. Such idea competitions bring out the best in people, their creativity and their positive mindset. So kudos on such a wonderful event, and also to TechGig for facilitating it. I was mentored, guided by UNFPA mentors and also people from Rising Flame and Center for Inclusive Policy. And they made me explore my idea in ways I didn't think even was possible. So really this win is for everyone, and I hope we can work together to, make a positive change in the society. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Prachi, and congratulations once again. I would like to tell everyone that our winner has won 1.5 lakh of reward, and our second runner-up, Andrea, has won 1 lakh, and our STEM Lab team has won, I think, 50K amount. So that is the the prize and the rewards that we have for our teams. Thank you for doing the honors, Ms. Andrea. In the end, before we wrap up and we come to end of this finale. Before we go ahead and conclude the show, I would like to invite Mr. Sahil Kapoor, Technology and Innovation Specialist at UNFPA, for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Sukriti. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the winners of the hackathon, as well as other finalist teams who reached at this stage of the finale. It has been a wonderful journey of seeing more than 200 ideas coming across 20 countries and wonderful prototypes that have potential to prevent and address GBV. With this, I would like also to thank all the individuals and the organizations who have extended the support to these finale teams in developing their prototypes. And last but not the least, thanking our knowledge partners and especially TechGig team who supported us at every stage of implementation of this hackathon. And lastly, all the participants at this event for joining us, and thank you everyone for making this a success. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Sukriti.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sahil. And time for us to wrap up the show. My heartfelt thank you to everyone for being a part of this finale. Andrea, thank you for being and gracing our event with your presence, and everyone who has worked behind this entire finale as well as the hackathon. A heartfelt thank you to our participants and the finalists who have made through the finale and have won and worked upon their ideas. And I'm sure your learnings are very special in this hackathon that you've had, and so it is for us to actually leverage and provide our platform for such innovative solutions. We will keep coming back with such innovations every now and then. Thank you so much, meanwhile, everyone, for being a part of the show. And it's time for us to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone. Please take care and stay safe.
Thank you.